The Detroit Pistons keep on winning, Tom. They've won 3 straight here. They beat the Cavaliers. They just destroyed, dismantled, embarrassed the Knicks 121-90 earlier in the week. And then they beat the Bulls without any of their guys. Cade didn't play. A bunch of their starters didn't play. And the Bulls have the most disgusting interior defense. Isaiah Stewart got there at absolute will. They offer no resistance. It's disgusting. It's tough to watch that Bulls team. But the Pistons, you did a podcast this week on the Big Number focused on the Knicks side of things with their recent struggles ever since the NBA Cup. I'm curious about the flip side of that. What are you seeing from Detroit this year, and especially as of late with the way they've destroyed the Knicks in that game? What stands out to you about the Pistons?
They got way more depth than I thought they did. Dennis Jenkins has been an amazing two-way contract for them this season, stepping up in a big way, a lot like, Caleb Love over in Portland, where it's like, oh, this guy, he's a fringe NBA player who's way better than that, way better. And then my favorite, most underrated player in the league, Beef Stew, Isaiah Stewart, like what he did to Nikola Vucevic in that game last night was a crime what he did to them. It was bully ball, Ben Wallace just wrecking them defensively, and just like Isaiah Stewart, I think, is just one of the great rim protectors in the NBA, defensive player of the year in waiting if he got starter minutes, but because of Jalen Duren, doesn't have that opportunity. He
at
is
least
the best.
Should be in the all defensive team conversation this year, Tom. At least should be.
14 for 17 field, and a lot of those is just
Crazy.
Putting his shoulder into Vooch and Vooch just like not being able to do anything. Right? It's not like he was just doing tip-ins and offensive rebound putbacks. It was like they were looking for Isaiah Stewart to get the ball at the top of the key and go Zion Williamson on him. Like to drive, to put 2 dribbles, a power dribble, and go at the cup. And that was basically the offense for a while in this game, was getting Isaiah Stewart downhill in traffic because they just had no rim protection. And on the other end, he's allowing 42% shooting at the rim when he's nearby. His defensive field goal percentage in the rim is at 42% this season. Chet Holmgren, by comparison, who many think is the defensive player of the year this year, he's allowing 48% at the rim when he's nearby. Rudy Gobert, 50%. Victor Wembanyama, 53%. Those are the quote-unquote best rim protectors in the NBA. And Isaiah Stewart kills them in that category, allowing just 41.6% shooting when he's nearby at the rim. He's always willing to go vertical and defend at a high level. And not a lot of guys you can say that about in today's NBA, is that they're willing to put their body on the line and defend verticality and try to block you every single time you come down the lane. Isaiah Stewart is that dude. And oh, by the way, they got Jalen Duren, who's one of the best young bigs in the NBA and probably an all-star this season. This Detroit Pistons team, way deeper than I gave them credit for in the offseason.
Yeah, I mean, so far this year, Detroit, top of the East, 28-9, 75.7 win percentage. They look like they're going to hold on to that as of now. But ultimately, I still think with this team a little less than a month until the trade deadline, they are in a position where I do think they should be looking for reinforcements. And over on Threads, I asked people for their questions for their mailbag this week, and Nick asked, what is the ceiling for this Pistons team as currently constructed? And what moves, if any, do they need to make to be a title contender this year? Tom, do you think Detroit is in a situation here where they should sit on what they have, ride it out this year, and let the chips fall as they may? Or should they be aggressive with the Tobias Harris expiring, guys like a Jaden Ivey or even a Ron Holland, young players that they could try to flip, use them as assets? They have all of their future picks, so they could trade up to 4 firsts and 3 swaps if they wanted to. How are you looking at this deadline if you're the Detroit Pistons?
I think the time is now. I mean, you look at the Knicks and how they've sputtered, man. Like, I feel like the time is now for the Detroit Pistons. It's, I do the title contenders, the title tiers every week, and the Pistons I've had as a 3-star title contender, not quite a 4-star, because I want to see them with a Michael Porter Jr. 3-point threat, big 3-point threat. And look, Isaiah Stewart's a guy that you can space out from time to time from the corner or at the top of the key. This is a guy that likes to shoot a few 3-pointers, and Jalen Duren, not that guy. Tobias Harris, solid vet at the 4, but if you sub in a Michael Porter Jr. in that slot, I'm willing to put them as a 4-star title contender. And I just think the title is going to come out of the Western Conference this year with how OKC is playing, and then Houston and Denver, of course. But man, Like half the battle is just getting to the NBA finals. And it feels like to me, this is the year that you pounce on a very weak at the top Eastern Conference. And this is the year I think you go and go out and get a Michael Porter Jr., someone, a star caliber player that can help you take the lead.
I mean, I like that idea. I think, as Scott said in the YouTube chat, how about MPJ to Detroit, Trey Murphy to Atlanta? I think, something like that. Those fits make sense for either of those teams. But the point is, I think with a lot of these teams in the NBA right now, whether it's a Trey Murphy or it's an MPJ for Detroit or vice versa for Atlanta or whoever the big man is for Boston, like I think it's open. And these teams should be going for it. There's players out there who can really move the needle for you, especially Michael Porter Jr. Teams have to go for it right now in the current state of the NBA. It is open. There's an opportunity to win it. And I hope we see some big moves in the weeks ahead. Because as you said at the top, Tom, the Trae Young deal is kind of boring in a way, considering where he is in his game and considering the two teams involved. But I want to see some contenders make some big swings.